What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm on the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. I am in West by God, Virginia, on my way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm well over halfway there. Now, here's the thing that I love about driving. You know, I may go up here. It's about 220 miles one way, and I may go up here, drive back to my house, and then drive back to the red brick house. Altogether, that'd be about 500 miles in one day, and do some work while I'm up there for about 5 or 6 hours or so. But that's the way I roll. That's the way I roll. I like being on the road because it gives me an opportunity to think and just go through my thoughts and everything else. And I love being on the road. I honestly do. This is where I keep telling my wife, you know, I really do want to get an RV. And it's like, honey, we can just take that RV and we ain't got to have a road map. All we just gonna do is just get in there and we just gonna ride. We just gonna ride we gonna try and hit every one of the states in the continental United States and have a meetup. So I don't know, you might meet some crazies, but be that as it may, this is my chance where I end up doing a lot of thinking and stuff. You know, when I've got a problem or you know, like woodworking and all that, usually my mind is clear with the road and I come up with solutions. And I started thinking because right now we've got the Joneses working on the Cowboys contract, supposedly. And they're going to have to get it done because the $59 million cap hit is too much. It's way too much. It is way too much. And so they have to get the deal done. So the estimates that we're hearing is that Dak Prescott will end up being, for the moment, the highest paid player in the NFL history, which would be, and they're estimating $58 or $59 million. And of course, most people lose their minds and they say, you can't pay a quarterback that much. That is just insane. It's too much money. How's he going to get paid more than, say, Joe Burrow? You know, Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl, even though he's been injured quite a bit of his career and things like that, and so on. So, if the Cowboys could get a deal that was a contract like Joe Burrow's or less, would that make you happy? I'm asking you that. Joe Burrow just signed his deal, $55 million. You've got, basically, the 50s are the new 40s, okay? He's the number one. I think 54 is Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert, I think, is 54. Lamar Jackson is in there, 53 something, and Jalen Hurts is in there at, 52 or whatever. But they're all grouped in there. What if the Cowboys could get a contract like that group of those 50s? Would that make you happy? I'm serious, would that make you happy? Because looking at it, because people will say, you know, we've heard ESPN, oh, hell no, you know, he needs to take a team-friendly deal. He needs to be, you know, lesser than the other guys. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a little exercise here, okay? Because this is maybe a way you'll understand economics a little bit better, and maybe math, okay? During the COVID year, we actually had a recession of the salary cap. I think it was 98 the year before, and it dropped down to 182, okay? The next year, it went up to 208, and then to 224, and it's looking like it's going to go to 244. Early estimates. It's not set in stone yet, but early estimates. I think it's actually going to go higher than that. But let's say it's 244. So between the COVID year of 182 the next 3 years, it's been $60 million, roughly $62 billion, that it has increased in the last 3 years. 3 years, $60 million. You got me on that, right? I know you younger generation, they don't make you do math anymore, okay? I can do this shit in my head. So here's what I want you to understand. If you take 3 years into 60 million, that equals, on average, which means if you were to make all the years the same, $20 million. Okay? $20 million a year, the salary cap has gone up. So if you take the $20 million, okay, to get a percentage of what it is of the 244, that's 8%. 8.2% rise in the salary cap. And you're like, okay, what does that have to do with price of tea in China? Well, here's the thing. If the salary cap is going at 8.2%, okay, that means there's more money to spend. And keeping things relative, then the cost of doing things rises as well. For example, when the red brick house, the land was sold for that originally in 1820 for $200. Well, it'd be great if I could have bought the land for $200 now, but because the value of money has gone up, it's a lot more money, okay? And that is another lesson on how to make money too, guys, because you know the value of things will go up. Okay, so back to Joe Burrow and crew. If the rate of inflation, I guess it's rate of it, no, excuse me, that's the wrong term. If the salary is going up 8.2%, 8.2% of Joe Burrow's deal, 8.2% of Joe Burrow's deal is $4.5 million. So, the deal Joe Burrow signed last year at $55 million, in today's NFL dollars, would be $59.5 million. You understand what I'm saying? So if we follow that same scenario, and we take the $59 million next year, right? And you put that 8.2% average onto it, then the following year, that contract is more like, or in same dollars, would be about $56 million. Am I making sense? Because as much as $55 million sounds right now, 2 years from now, it'll be, excuse me, I said 50, 66 million will be what the going rate will be going. Am I making sense to you right now? So we'll look at Joe Burrow's deal after Dak Prescott gets paid, or we'll say, down the road another year. We'll look back and we'll say, man, Justin Herbert's deal and Trevor Lawrence and Lamar Jackson, their deals are a steal. Wish we could get a deal for like that, because then it's going to be in the 60s. And see, this is what you have to understand, because you get tied up into how much money it is right now and not understanding the value of what it will be later. See, think about it in this terms. When Dak Prescott signed his deal at $40 million, people went crazy. Oh my God, you can't pay him $40 million. That's insane. It's too much money. Right now, years later, $40 million is kind of like the floor, because the value constantly goes up. So in the end, stop going crazy about how much money you're paying the person today in today's dollars. You sound like an old person. I remember when I could get me a piece of penny candy, and I got 2 for a penny. And a Coca-Cola was a nickel. I can't believe that damn Coke is $2.49. That's crazy. That's insane. No, that's inflation, bro. That's the way it works. So stop with this whole thing on Dak Prescott's deal. The bottom line, and I went from, look at this. I went from Virginia to West Virginia and Maryland, I think almost in this whole video.
Welcome to Maryland.
There you go. That's the Potomac River right there, buddy. That's the Potomac River. We up by Harper's Ferry and shit, I think. Anyway, I digress. I'm only an hour away. I digress. Actually, Sharpsburg, Antietam Battlefield. Bloodiest day in the Civil War. 28,000. Let me say it again. 28,000 casualties in that one day. Killed, injured, or missing. That's a lot of people. Especially when you think about the Vietnam War. Total being 55,000 dead over those years. Anyway, I'm sorry. When you get old, you get easily distracted. So stop going ape shit about these contracts. The NFL is making money hand over fist. If the salary cap was stagnant, if it wasn't increasing, it would be a problem. If it's, with the way it's going now, it's going to be going through the roof. Some projections have, by 2027, that the salary cap will be over $350 million. So the money you're going to pay Dak right now, it's going to be chicken feed over the next couple of years. There you have it. Some dollars and cents on Dak Prescott's contract, as well as CDs and Micah Parsons. So in some regard, you could look at it and say, it would behoove the Cowboys to get all of those contracts done before everybody else gets theirs and get them locked in if you truly believe these are guys that are going to be on your team for several years at a lower rate, including Micah. All right, good people. I will see you soon. Peace.